Okay, this is Charlotte again. I believe this is session 10. 9 was putting a saddle on the first time, and then we put it back on today with little difficulty getting in the round. Then we did a little bit of walk, trot, and canter. Put the saddle on, and she did real well. So today, I also introduced ascending exercise where you move them back and forth along the fence line. The first time she did that, and then in preparation for her to listen to you and to turn into you a little bit better. And also, it's good for trailer preparation because you make it in a confined space. You start like 10 feet away from the fence and then move yourself closer and closer to the fence as she gets calmer and calmer. Today is the introduction for session 10 is bridling. And bridling is a pet peeve of mine because bridling should be easy for the horse and easy for you. You don't want it clinging in their mouth and on their teeth as much as possible. So she's never had a bridle on. And to me, when I see people bridling their horses way up here, especially a tall horse, it's like, you got to be kidding me. Teach the horse. And I know it takes time to teach your horse, but these are basics that the horses need to learn. Okay, so for bridling, in previous exercise, remember at the pole, we touch the pole, and as we touch the pole, here's skin, muscle, bone originally, and then they lower their head nicely. When I teach bridling, just like when I teach saddling the first time, I use a rope or lead line, and I squeeze at the withers where the cinch would normally be. I do the same thing when I bridle. You need to be able to hold their head kind of still, put your finger in there and rub it around, and they stay pretty calm. The next thing I like to do is I take my lead line, and this becomes my bridle. There's a horse over there, so she's not as listening as well. But I put my head down like this, and then I do this, and then I give her a little bit of a treat. There's no big hurry in bridling the horse, but once you do it correctly, it becomes very easy. And the reason I'm using this rope, a lead line, as the bridle, is because I want her to feel very comfortable with this in front of her. Come in, and I want it about 15 degrees in. As you can see, I'm putting it in front of her mouth here, and then I'm taking it away. So again, it's an approach and retreat, an approach and retreat. Give her the treat, 3 to 5 seconds after the association with the bridle. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to ask for the head. Here's skin, muscle, bone. Come down. I'm going to put that out like this again and say, this is kind of a fun thing. And then I'm going to take the rope. I'm going to kind of feed it to her. And if she takes it a little bit, I'm going to drop it back out of her mouth and start over again until she's comfortable with this rope. Again, there's a horse over there, so her attention's not entirely on me. I'm going to do this. I want her to take it. Asking her to take it, not forcing it. I'm going to go over the outside ear, the inside ear, like that. Still wanting her to face me a little bit. I'm going to take it right back out, outside ear, inside ear. So what she is doing now is getting used to taking something in her mouth. The rope is nice and soft, obviously. We'll do this again. Head down. Bring it here like this. There we go. And then ask her to take it nice and softly. Ask her to take it. When she takes it, outside ear, inside ear, tighten it up a little bit. Let her chew on it a little bit. Outside ear, inside ear, out it comes. And she's doing really good. Okay, now here's the bridle. I loosen it up a little bit because I want to be able to put it on her without forcing it on her. Here's the good girl. I'm going to ask for the head again. I'm going to bring this up like this. Let her do this. Just let her check it out. I'm going to take it away and give her a treat. Positive association. Positive reinforcement is what? Petting, a treat, a feed, and verbal. A verbal like good girl. And the good girl is associated because every time you use good girl, there's something positive, and then she associates the wording with it. When they're teaching them lateral work, it prevents the bit from going through their mouth because they may be pulling excessively when they're learning. And so if you don't have a chin strap and you pull laterally, say you're practicing emergency one range stops, they may object, pull back, and the whole mouthpiece goes through and hangs out here. And of course, then you get nothing. So it prevents it from doing that. Okay, so we're going to introduce her to the bit. I'm sorry it's taking so long, but it is an important step. So she's done a little bit with the rope. Now I'm going to put this up here. We've already did this once, right? And then I'm going to put it like this. And then I'm going to offer her the bit, just like this. Say, take it in. And if she starts to take it in, I'm going to drop it and say, good girl. Give her a treat. Positive reinforcement within 3 to 5 seconds. I was actually a little late there. Now bear in mind, it's the first time she's ever had a bit in her mouth. Okay, here we go. Okay. Again, the head goes down. There we go. And we let her have the bit. Let her taste it. Let her check it out. Once it's in her mouth here, I'll ask her to put it in the mouth this time. It's in the mouth. I take it back out. Good girl. And I'm going to do that again. And we'll put it down. There we go. Good girl. I'll put this here like this. There we go. Bring it in. When she puts it in this time, I'm going to ask her to put it in. I'm going to bring it up outside ear, inside ear, and then I'm going to adjust this so it stays in her mouth. Because if we've loosened it up and you let the bit go, you let the bridle go, the headstall, it may be too loose and it might just fall right back out. So I'm going to go back to 4 and 4 on this side. Okay, let me see how she's doing. Okay, and then the two things we're going to do, let's put the head down. There you go. Just adjust it. There you go. It's not bad there. But you take the chin strap. Okay, and the chin strap here gets tied. And the chin strap should be 4 fingers in width. So when you put the chin strap in, if you don't have 4 fingers, you got 3, lower it 1. Right now I got 4, so I'm good right there. Make sure it's down now. I might have more now. Yeah, I'll go 1 more up. So I got about 4. Maybe a little less. Okay. And the reason she's doing that is she's never had a bit in her mouth. So, okay, so everything's looking good. The headstall, about 4 fingers on the throat latch. If you're doing English, should be 2 on the nose band. And you used to have 1 or 2 wrinkles in the mouth when you put on a bit. 1 to 2 wrinkles, they used to say. But right now, most people, most Westerners anyhow, put it right at the corner of the mouth. Okay, so if you got a bit, it should be sitting right at the corners and relaxed. And the rationale for that is when you release the rein to teach them something, remember, releases the teacher, it doesn't keep the pressure. If you got 2 wrinkles there and you release the reins to teach them, they're not releasing anything. They already have 2 wrinkles. The pressure's already on. So you want total release. Again, come here, go. And I think she'll like it. It's hard to tell. Okay. I want the head towards me, about 20, 30 degrees. I'm going to bring it up. Yep. Now she's got to taste it a bit. And she's not sure if she wants it or likes it. So we're going to keep that head on her pole. Because remember, that's what we taught her, right? Come here. And keep it down. Keep it down. Ask for it down again. Good girl. Okay. That went on a little smoother. And then we tie it up again. 4 fingers. Looks good. It's in the corner of her mouth because we already adjusted the head stall. And, okay, so she's looking pretty good there. That's the first time with the bit. Let's make sure it's on top. It's on top this time. It was under her tongue last time. Okay, and you want to tighten it so she can't obviously put her tongue on top of the bit. So she's chomping on the bit, I guess you could say. Back up, back. There you go. So what she's doing is chewing on it because she's a little perplexed at what this piece of metal is doing in her mouth. This is a snaffle, 1-for-1. Snaffle is a bit that when you pull 1 pound of pressure, the horse feels 1 pound of pressure. If you pull 10 pounds of pressure, the horse feels 10 pounds of pressure. A leverage bit gives you leverage, and it's dependent on the top. Above the mouthpiece is called the purchase. Below the mouthpiece is called a shank. The ratio between the purchase and the shank is the ratio that you're putting in the horse's mouth. If you got a 1-inch purchase above the mouthpiece and a 6-inch shank, when you pull, it's a 6-to-1 ratio. 1 pound in his mouth, 6 pounds for the horse. You pull 10 pounds, 60 pounds in the horse's mouth. That's why they say if you are not an experienced rider, you got no business riding with a shank, especially a long shank. And horses usually are started with a bosul, a a halter, or a hackamore, or a bitless bridle. That's fine as long as you've learned them lateral flexion so you can bring them to a stop if you need. But I like to start them in a snaffle, a light snaffle like this one. It's got a little bit of tongue relief. It's a mylar bit. They play with the copper roller, and she'll settle down after a while. She's getting used to it. That's about it that I can think of. I think that helps. We start with the rope, get them used to it, reward them when they take it. But remember, I don't remember what session it was. We did the teaching to drop that head down, and we're going to do all the exercises with the saddle in the future. So thanks for watching. Hope that helped.